Hey friends, welcome to Monday Night Ignite. We are super excited to start off August right with you by having two amazing speakers tonight, Melissa Poepping and Amanda Ames. And we're going to start out tonight with my friend, Melissa Poepping. She is a great Royal Crown Diamond leader that has been with Young Living for 22 years, count them. And for 12 of those years, she's been a successful business leader in many different respects. She and I got to know each other in Ecuador when we were down there for our 2013 Platinum Retreat. And out of that became YL Fast Track, if you ever got to listen to that. So I know y'all love her for so many reasons. Melissa lives in a little bitty town on a farm in Minnesota with a population of 73. She's a great mom, great wife, and a beast of a leader. She is known as the DIY queen. She loves fast cars. Just go look at some posts. She loves Chanel, all things fancy. And she loves to teach people how to be green and glam. And I love that so much about her. So this busy farm girl, 7-figure earner, is going to be teaching us tonight about a wellness by design. And she's written terrific books, if you have not been introduced to those yet. Non-toxic books, Clean and Green, DIY, Healthy Living, and her very coveted and gorgeous perfume and cologne books for women and men, respectively, using our Young Living essential oils. So tonight, she's going to teach us about all around wellness that she's come to discover and live out. And she's a terrific teacher, and I'm super excited to have her sharing with us tonight. So welcome, Melissa, and thank you so much.
That was an amazing intro. Thank you, Danette. This has been such an incredible journey in Young Living, and just the leaders that I get to meet, the people that I get to connect with. It's just, we have the best jobs in the world, honestly. I couldn't imagine doing anything else. I don't want to do anything else. We literally just have the best job in the world. I'm so honored to be here tonight. As Danette said, I live in an itty bitty little town. And so I'm going to apologize in advance if the Wi-Fi seems spotty. Let me just check my internet connection, because that's one of the joys of living in the country. Is country life is full of all kinds of obstacles and challenges. When I was talking to Danette about what I kind of wanted to chat with all of you tonight, I always like to talk about things that I currently have going on in my life, or things that I'm currently working through or have achieved recent success with. And a lot of you have been following my fitness journey, and it's been 18 months. And this is the first time in my life where I've been able to, at 18, I've never been committed to something like this for 18 months, like ever. I'm like a serial exerciser. Like I've like exercise ADD. Like I jump from like, oh, Zumba looks fun. Oh, kickboxing looks fun. Oh, this looks great. And I'm just all over the place, and I could never get long sustained success because I would get bored with it. And then I would give up and I'd revert back to my old ways. I really had no idea what was going on, why that was happening. How many of you have gained the 10 and lost the 10? Like you're on like the yo-yo 10, 15, maybe now it's 20. I remember turning 40 and someone saying to me, well, enjoy the 40 at 40. And I'm like, what? I got like $40 million coming? Like, what's the 40? You got to be more specific. And they're like, the 40 pounds you gain at 40. I'm like, hell no. I'm still trying to lose the 30 from 30 and the 20 from 20. And no, that ain't gonna work for me. And you know what's interesting is through all of my studies, I studied one-on-one with Bob Proctor for years, through the Proctor Gallagher Institute, since 2014, and then was personally coached by Bob, I think from like 2018 or something, up until he always said he was going to have his retirement party and his funeral on the same day, and he did. And what an amazing journey that man had. And I was so blessed to learn from him. But everything I learned, I applied towards my business. And he was talking one day about how when you develop a mindset about what it is that you truly desire in your life. And I'm like, yes, okay, all the business notes, let's go. And he started talking about weight loss. And I'm like, wait, what? That's not what I signed up for. I really just want to know how to really just succeed in my business. So I can take care of the other stuff later. And I really leaned into the message and I thought, holy moly, Petey. Everything I was learning for my business mindset, I could have been applying towards my fitness, towards my wellness, towards my health, towards relationships, literally towards every single thing. And that's what I want to share with you tonight. Now, I just got sick of the yo-yo. And I would imagine many of you are sick and tired of the yo-yo as well. And in 2020, after we went through an adorable year in the world, many of us fell into everyday stressors, everyday comfort. And let me just tell you, I baked a lot. Our family went through so many transitions that year. We gained a fourth child for a while, and I wanted to do everything possible to make life comfortable for him and make him feel at home. And so I cooked and I baked all the things. And not everybody liked all the things I baked, but I liked the things I baked. So I ended up eating all the things I baked. It was just a recipe for disaster happening. And we couldn't really go anywhere. We couldn't do anything. And so I had gained a lot of weight during COVID. And I woke up one morning and literally decided this cannot continue. Many of you are in a health and wellness company. And I felt that for myself, I was not representing a health and wellness company. And that was probably one of the hardest moments for me on my Young Living journey. That here I am, speaking of health and wellness, emotionally, physically, mentally, I just wasn't doing it. And it actually started pulling me farther out of my business because I felt like I can't show up to represent these things when I myself, like, I can't even be an example of these things. And it's interesting because when you form a thought based on any of the myriad of things that you see, you hear, you taste, you touch, you smell, you form a thought, the moment you begin to emotionalize with it, your body will move into the corresponding action. And I was emotionalizing with being a failure, being overweight, really the things that I would say to myself in the mirror, if I were to say to a stranger, I would have ended up in jail. And I know that a lot of you do the same thing. You talk to yourself in a way that would be completely so societally unacceptable for you to say to any human being. But yet you talk to yourself that way every single day in the mirror. I know you do it. And I did it too. And it's not okay. It is not okay. And that's when I realized I had to make some really drastic changes. And when you emotionalize with that and you start saying those things to yourself, are you going to feel motivated to get up and move? Are you going to feel motivated to work on your business? Are you going to feel motivated to even show up as the mom you are, the dad you are, the spouse, the friend, anything? You just don't. And you do and you almost do everything possible to just avoid being faced with yourself. Like I would avoid the mirror in my bathroom. In fact, this all started to happen shortly after we had our remodel done. Have any of you ever gone into like a fitting room, or you've heard someone say about a store, like, don't try the clothes on at that store, their mirrors suck. Have you heard that? Okay. So I find this mirror that I wanted in my bathroom as part of the remodel. And it's this beautiful floor length mirror that actually has a door on it that opens up. And it looks like a full-size regular door. And it opens up to a jewelry armoire. I tell Wayne that I got it for like a couple $100. I did not get it for a couple $100. This was an investment piece of furniture that was part of this whole bathroom image I had, right? I'm so excited to get this thing. I've waited. I've scoured the internet because it was so hard to get. Finally got it. Felt like I scored a really, really good deal on it. And get the mirror up. And I'm like, oh, man, I got a bad mirror. This thing makes me look fat. I was so upset. And then you know what I realized one day? There was nothing wrong with the mirror. It was actually me. I had gained so much weight. And I would stand in front of that mirror, and the things that I would tell myself: I'm overweight. I don't have the energy to work out. I've tried everything. Nothing works. How many of you have said that? Those exact words. I've tried everything. Nothing works. Newsflash, there is some things that work. You did not try everything because you didn't find the thing that worked. Therefore, you didn't try everything. So this is a message not only about weight, but this is a message about your wellness. How many of you have not achieved the vitality you want to achieve, or you achieve the energy, but you don't sustain the energy? Or maybe you have a health goal and you get things balanced for a while, but then you fall out of that balance. Or you achieve emotional confidence or emotional wellness, and then all of a sudden you lose that emotional confidence or that emotional wellness. So not only is it true that your weight can go on a yo-yo, but your emotions can go on a yo-yo. Your confidence, your wellness, your vitality, your energy. I'm trying to speak very compliantly, by the way, because the way I share it is the way I want you to be able to share it. So just like you lose the 10, you gain the 10. You gain happiness, you lose happiness. It just all goes up and down. It just doesn't have to be that way. So I'm going to share with you what I had to change. And I'm going to pray that you can implement some of these changes too, because I am telling you, I have never, ever felt this good in my entire life. Bob asked a question once, and he said, if you didn't have a driver's license, if you didn't have a birth certificate, and you actually had no way possible of even knowing how old you are, how old would you put yourself? What age would you assign yourself just based on how you feel? I want you guys to think about that for just a minute. If you had no idea of your birth date, no idea of what to compare it to based on how you look, I'm talking about how you feel, what age would you give yourself just based on how you feel? I was starting to feel older than 40. I really was. And there were times not that long ago, before the whole fitness journey started, that I would say that I was like in my, maybe mid 30s. So maybe only like 5 years younger, right? Since working out this past 18 months, just showing up different, holding a different self-image, because I would actually age myself in my mid to late 20s. And I'm going to be 44 this month, I think. Yeah, it's an even year. Yeah, 44, 42 or 40, 44. There, you reach a point where you just stop counting, because it doesn't matter, because you just feel amazing. That's where I'm at. So it's how do you feel? And I really want you to think about, if you aged yourself later, why? Why are we doing this? And I want to just ask you, how many times you guys say to yourself, I don't have the time for this. I don't have the energy for this. I don't even know where to begin. I don't know what to do. I don't feel like I should do this. I feel like if I took the time to get my wellness under control, or if I took the time to exercise, like, oh, I know what people would say, like, what do you got to work out all the time for? Or that's crazy. You spend how many hours a day working out? I recently just did a post on Facebook just asking if people had this ring that's this health, it's a health tracker. Did not call it a fitness tracker, call it a health tracker. And so many of the comments were incredibly eye-opening from people. People saying things like, you know, why do you need that? You wouldn't need that. Just pay attention to how you feel. You know what's sad? There are far too many people that got themselves into this place because of how they felt, right? There are far too many people that don't take action every single day because of how they feel in the moment. So sometimes it's just not enough. You really, really have to think about, like, and here's the sad thing. How many people saw that post and thought, I should do something like that? Oh, they're right. I don't need something like this. It's just lean in and pay more attention to how I feel and then just go based on that. There's heaps of mindset work that has to be done if that's going to be the only route you take. And so that's one of those examples of how an outside condition would affect the direction that you wanted to go in. How about I'm too tired to wake up now? You know you got to get up a little bit earlier to incorporate some of these new routines into your life, but you just lay in bed and you're like, I just don't have the energy to get up, or I'll start tomorrow. How many times have you been saying, I'm going to start tomorrow? Has it been a week, a month, a year, a couple of years? I said for so long, I'll just start tomorrow. I'll just start Monday. But when Monday falls on a new month, because that just makes the most sense. Do you know how few opportunities there are in a calendar year to find a Monday that starts on the first of the month? Lucky for you, today is August 1st and it is a Monday. So if that's been your excuse you're holding on to, yep, plenty of time left after this Zoom to do what it is that you got to do. How about you stand in front of the mirror and you say, I feel fat, I feel ugly, I look horrible, my clothes don't fit right, the dryer shrunk them all, and this mirror sucks. It has to stop. Because then all we do is we question why we haven't reached the goal. And you know what? The goal isn't always just what you want. The goal is what you speak. What are you talking about? Or what are you saying? The goal is what you think and what you feel. So it doesn't matter what you tell me the goal is. What do you feel? And what are you thinking? When you're speaking it to someone, what do you actually think? You say, yeah, I know, I got to get in shape. I got to get a routine. And I really have to make it a point to drink Nature Red every day. I've got to meet this wellness goal. But then what are you thinking and what are you feeling? Any of the excuses that come to your head will work. All the excuse, any excuse, just pick one. They all work just the same. And that's where we really have to stop. So achieving the goal requires the two to be in alignment. What you speak and how you feel have to be matched. That's the first thing. What it is that you say you want has to match exactly what it is that you feel and what you're thinking. It has to be the same. You can't say something different than you're thinking. It doesn't work that way. Then you're always working in opposition with yourself. Oh gosh, and you get all kinds of emotions that come to surface. Frustrated, you get frustrated with yourself. You get short fused, you get annoyed, lack of patience, feeling defeated. You can't keep suppressing your desires and your wants. That is a recipe for complete disaster. Complete disaster. You need to speak what you want and you need to want what you speak. The two have to match. And the best way to do that is to create an image of what you truly desire and start today to show up as that person. So this was the first and biggest step that I took. Number one, I decided today was going to be day one. And for me, that was December 31st. That's when I made the decision. That's when I took some huge steps in my life. And my fitness journey actually started because I had to wait for shipping on something that I needed for this. So my fitness journey actually started on February 9th of 2020. Would it be? I don't know. I'm not going to do quick math. 2021, maybe. 2021. I had to decide this is the day. There's no more one day. This is day one. Now, here was the biggest thing. I didn't just want this for myself. Remember when I said that we're in a health and wellness company and I felt like I was not a health and wellness person. I wasn't living that image. The desire to want to achieve these goals was actually more about all of you than it was myself. I wanted to be able to show up and represent. I wanted to be able to serve. I wanted to be able to be an example, and I wanted to be able to help people achieve this in their own life as well. And in order to do that, I was going to have to first achieve it. I also saw another company with a product emerging that was becoming a hot topic. And when I broke down the ingredient panel on this product, I was actually sick to my stomach in what I discovered. And I knew that there were going to be a lot of people using this product, and it was going to cause massive, massive adverse health reactions for them. With ingredients like psyllium powder, which isn't, it's fun, it's a natural herb, but it acts as a laxative, and it's fiber content. FDA approves it as a fiber source, and it's very good at getting things moving, but it's only meant to take short term. Talking like a 2-week period. There's a reason that our comfort tone or our ICP, our cleansing trio, is only meant to be taken for a couple of weeks. And that's because it has psyllium powder in it. So it works and it's effective and it gets things moving, but not something that you should be taking on a daily basis. I also saw an incredibly high amount of caffeine, like 3 cups of coffee amount. So if somebody was already having 3 cups of coffee in their day, plus having that, plus having any additional sources of income, you're looking at hitting your adrenal system really hard and doing a lot of damage. There was also no enzymes, which means there had to have been appetite suppressants in it. And sure enough, there were. And it was just, all I could think of was this: the number of young moms that are going to go on this product, and then how are they going to be showing up for their families? Adrenals are tanked. Digestive system is a mess. And the list goes on. I mean, we don't have to get into it. So I wanted to, this was part of the image I created. So health and wellness company, I wanted to represent a health and wellness company because that's who we are. Second part of it, I wanted to be an example. Third part of it, I wanted everyone to know that you can achieve it with Young Living products. And not enough people are doing it to show it and talk about it. And I want that to be different. And as I started doing this, I started finding other Young Living members that were having phenomenal results. Lene Rigdon is one of them. Nicole, and I don't know her last name, Danette, she might be in your team. She's in Texas. One of the most beautiful Black women I've ever seen in my entire life. On Instagram, she's Chocolat, CHOLQAT. Her fitness journey has been mind-blowing, and I've messaged her to ask her, like, girl, what are you using? She's like, Young Living products and tons of exercise. I'm like, okay, good. I can recommend you as a follow. So there are people that are achieving such phenomenal results using our Young Living products, and we need to highlight and show that more. So that was the third thing. I wanted it to just be Young Living products, and I wanted to show that this works and you can achieve this. And I wanted to be completely transparent in the journey so that anybody would know, like, okay, it's not just a magic pill. It is not just something magic on a spoon. There's work that goes into this. And I'm here to tell you, it is a mind, body, spirit connection. You have to have your nutrition, you have to have your mindset, and you have to have exercise. You will not achieve it without those things. But it's all going to be based on, how do you want to see yourself? Okay, so this is the mindset part that literally comes first. The mindset work comes first. How do you want to see yourself? Now, this is what I did. I sat down and I thought, because any way to achieve a goal is to start at the end. Okay, any way to achieve a goal is to start at the end. That's the only way to achieve a goal, is to start at the end. So I would ask myself, where do I want to be 1 year from now? What story do I want to tell 1 year from now? So my 1 year progress post that I did on Instagram, the one in my underwear that a few people freaked out about, but the majority, not a lot of people freaked out about, because my underwear actually has more coverage than an average swimsuit. That post, okay, now we're clear on what post that was. I had that post written December 31st, 2020. That's when I wrote that post. And every single day, I beat tar to make sure that in 1 year, that was going to be the post I could hit send on and actually share. And I wanted every single piece of it to be true. I had my before photo. I'm like, here we go. Because wow, it's going to be an incredible story. So obviously the progress photo one for the 1 year progress photo part was blank, but I had the content written up for it. I knew exactly where I wanted to be in 1 year from that date. I knew exactly how I wanted to feel. I knew exactly the story that I wanted to be able to share. And I created an image that was so strong around that. I was so emotionally attached to that. And then I started creating an image of, what am I going to look like? How fit am I going to be? And you know what's crazy? It was all around a number, because that's what I thought weight was about. So it was around a weight loss number. Holy moly, it is so much more than that number on the scale. I maybe remember to weigh myself now like once a month or something, just as a check-in. It's about measurement at the proper body measurements. There's 4 places of measurements: bust, waist, hips, thighs. Bust, waist, hips, thighs. Yes, bust, waist, hip, thighs. And even though I've only lost 25 pounds, I've lost 30 inches from those points and gone down. I think I went from like a size 14 to a size 10. So there's so much more. Things you can live. I just worked out this morning and I realized I went the full 90 seconds in doing the a push drag. So like a drag and a push up, not on my knees. So it was full form. I literally got up through the rest and I started crying. The amount of gratitude that I had for my body in that moment was so overwhelming. I've not been able to do that. And that matters so much more than a number on a scale. I can carry the water bucket for the chickens, which is a big one. And when it's full, it's really heavy. I actually should wear it. I can carry it across the yard, no problem. That's a win. That's a victory. We just got a golden retriever and she is so horrible. She is so naughty and she drives me nuts. And when she does something wrong on the other side of the yard and I yell at her, she just drops. She's like drunk best friend. And then she's just dead body weight and then she won't move. I literally have to pick her up and carry her a couple hundred yards across the property to get her back up to the house. So that is so much better than a number on a scale. And these are all the things that I saw when I created the image for more strength, more stamina, more vigor, more energy, more vitality. How old did I want to feel? How did I want to feel in my clothes? How did I want to be able to show up? All of that mattered. All of that mattered. And it became a part of the self-image I created. I had such a phenomenal write-up of this character, which is essentially what you're going to be doing. You're literally writing the exact character that you want to be. And I remember after I had pen to paper and I had it all down and I had it all written, I sat back and I thought, I can't wait to meet her. This is amazing. This is so amazing. And then the next part was the most important part. I could not just put that paper back in my journal, in my book, and tuck it away for another someday. I had to make the decision to show up as her now. Right now. Not tomorrow morning. Not next week. Not on a Monday. Not on the Monday that kicks off a new month. It literally had to be that minute. That minute. You see, when you form a thought, so when you're creating the self-image, you're creating a thought in your mind, right? It's all just a thought. Then all of a sudden you realize, oh, that's amazing. You just emotionalize with it, baby. You just emotionalize with it. And that is such a powerful moment because the minute you put emotion to it, guess what? The energy is emotion. And there is a law that controls that. the law of perpetual transmutation. And once that energy is going, you cannot stop it. You have unleashed something so profound, and now the wheels are in motion. And spirit moves for one purpose: to meet its physical equivalent. So the minute you start to emotionalize with it, all the wheels are spinning, and it is starting to already go through the process of manifesting. So what you want to do at that moment is fully become absorbed in that image, in the feeling, in the moment, all of it. Just let it consume you, because here's the magic that will then happen. It's going to drive you to take different actions. Don't believe me? Let's go back to the yo-yo for a second. You think you want to lose weight, but then you look at yourself in the mirror and you start to emotionalize with how frustrated you are, how no diets ever worked. You've tried everything. You look fat. You feel fat. Your clothes don't fit good. And then what do? You go grab a pint of ice cream and you sit on the couch. You don't lose 10 pounds that way. That was the action you decided to take. You decided to take the action of nothing. This applies towards supplement routines, anything. Oh, I've tried that supplement. It didn't work. I don't feel good. And you stop taking it, and you stop moving, and you stop moving towards the image of wellness that you've created for yourself. What you need to do is get into the emotional mindset of who is you? Who are you 1 year from now? 1 year from now, who are you? And then show up as her now. So here's this image of fit, fab, healthy, energy through the roof. You guys, I couldn't work out fast enough. I was choosing different foods. People ask me, did you change your diet? I didn't really make a cognizant effort, but subconsciously, I just make different choices. And I don't even have to try about it. The dessert doesn't look appetizing. I literally have no desire to want it. Now that I've discovered what an affogato is, that's a completely different story. So I have to limit myself on those. They're really good. But what a guilt-free treat, because it's literally only one small scoop of ice cream, right? And it's so satisfying and it's so filling, and it's just served in such an eloquent way. That one's enough, right? So just so beautiful. But that's where people have the disconnect. You write it down. This is who I want to be. These are my goals. But then you tuck it away in a book for another day. Or you just think that's the only step to it. That part was just the law of attraction. What you're missing is the primary law to that. See, the law of attraction is a secondary law. It's not the primary law. You can't just wish for it and then go sit on the curb and eat a sandwich and wait. The law of vibration is the primary law. That's the one that gives it its energy and its movement and its momentum. Form the thought of who you want to be. Get emotionally involved with it. Fall in love with it. Fall so in love. There's nothing wrong with that. Fall so crazy in love with that image that you've created for yourself. Take action every single day to show up as her now. How does healthy you enter a room? And this works for your business too. How does the Royal Crown Diamond version of you walk into a room? How does the healthy version of you show up to dinner? How does the healthy version of you start her morning? What choices do you make? How are they different? I bet there will come a time not too far from now, maybe in a week, if you really start this tonight, it might only take a week, where you cannot wait to get out of bed in the morning, because you will realize you were created to move, not hit snooze. And then those actions that you take are what is going to deliver the results. The only thing responsible for the results in your life right now, your health, your wellness, your vitality, your emotions, the actions you take. And your actions are directed entirely by your emotions. And those emotions came to be because of the thoughts you had. So, what are the conditions affecting your thoughts? Do you have to make some changes there? Audit some circles? Set some boundaries? I don't know. That's part of your journey. I'm here to help you figure it out. Don't worry. I talk about this stuff all the time. There's no shortage of it. Thank you for having me here tonight, Danette.
Yes. Oh my gosh. The chat is blowing up, by the way. Would you like to take a few minutes of Q&A or?
I would love to. I would love to.
Okay. That'd be awesome.
I do just want to add real quick though, that when you are listening to somebody that's trying to sell you a product and they're telling you that you just have to drink this or you just have to take this, or if you are going to say to someone, you just have to do the meal replacement shakes or just take Sleek, or if you're telling yourself that, there's such a disservice being done there. And I hate exercise. 90% of the time, I don't want to do the workout. I do not want to do the workout. My knee hurts so bad right now. My elbow hurts so bad right now. I feel like I could do a reel, like just this pain, like shooting down my arm, like my eyeball is twitching. Like there's a reel like that. It's from the Kardashians. I could find every excuse in the book to not work out. I just make the decision to do it. And I'm committed to that decision, and I make the decision and I do it. And I'm up to working out between 60 and 90 minutes a day. And that's my staple. And that does not change. And it's because of how I feel, how it makes me feel. And I started out with just a goal of 30 minutes, 5 days a week. That was my goal. I just want to move for 30 minutes, 5 days a week. Here is what I want you to understand: the value in exercising and the complete disservice. It's almost should be unlawful, should be a sin to tell someone that they don't need to exercise or they don't need to move. Cardiovascular health, joint mobility, your balance, your coordination, tactical skills. Come on now. That was the other thing. I worked so hard to get my conceal and carry. But you know what? I was failing the 21-foot rule test every single time. And I knew that if I didn't do something to get into better shape, didn't matter what I was carrying. I could not move on my feet quick enough. My agility was not there. All of these things that I'm gaining. So look at your fitness as a form of tactical. That is self-defense. Run away, right? Like you've got to have that energy. So when you start looking at the health benefits, you sleep better, your stress is reduced, endorphin upsurge. I mean, my God, I'm surprised there's not a trail of rainbows that follow me, because I'm so happy all the time now. I sleep better. I'm just a better human all around to be around, even to be around myself, for me to be around myself. And when someone is telling someone that they can omit that, oh, that's sad. That's sad to me. That's really sad. When you follow Dan Bittner on Instagram, he's the one who wrote the book, The Blue Zones. He talks about how in these blue zone territories, like movement is a key factor to longevity. It's just, yeah. Okay, now questions. Sorry.
Some folks are asking, what type of exercises do you do for your 60 to 90 minutes?
So 4 days a week, I do strength for 60 minutes. And at night, then I do 30 minutes of bar, which is like a toning. It's like a Pilates bar. The point is muscle fatigue. Bar is not for the faint of heart. So any other bar friends out there? Because it's so fun. Like I get to say, like, see you at the bar, or like I've been to like the school board meeting. I'm like, I gotta go. I'm gonna go hit the bar. And they're like, what? I'm like, it's an exercise. It's so good. Yeah, it's well, once you're a bar girl, it's all the bar jokes. And then 3 days a week, I do a focus on cardio, and I make sure that I hit the cardio hard for at least 45 minutes. And I hate cardio. I don't like cardio boot camps. I'm just trying Tabata, but most dance, Latin dance. So, you just, whether you want to get some YouTube workouts. I actually bought a piece of equipment and there's personal trainers on it. And so being a part of that fitness community is what makes me want to show up every day. And I build relationships with the trainers, and it's part of the whole thing. So find a fitness group, find a fitness community. It's no different than our Young Living communities, right? So like, find a group that you can be a part of, and that's part of what's going to hold you accountable and make you want to show up. I actually just got done with a 12-week build muscle program. I finally have like arms. It's so much fun. So 12 weeks. I never, ever, ever thought that I would have ever have done a 12-week build muscle program, but here I am.
You guys want to type in the chat a question that you might have or unmute yourself? Either way, I'm not sure how the settings are set.
So I just saw Carol just asked, are these online fitness classes? Mine personally are not, but you absolutely can find so many online fitness classes. It's endless what's out there right now for fitness options. It's just how you want to do it. Joni, there are a lot of older women in the fitness community that I'm in that do bar, and holy moly, they look fantastic. So just start with a beginner bar course. It reminds me of like standing Pilates is what it reminds me of. And it just makes me feel beautiful, and it just helps you get long and lean. It's great on flexibility. Like, it's just amazing. Yeah, Peloton has an app. I use the Mirror, and I think the Mirror has a free 30-day trial on where you can just use it on your phone for a while and see how you like it there. But there's endless workout videos. What Young Living products did I use that worked for me? The Sleek Tea is a big one for me. That is just a phenomenal product. It has vanillin in it. What vanillin will do is it'll tell the brain like, hey, you're not really hungry. Like, this is just boredom. So it shuts off that trigger that makes you want to just like eat out of habit, and really just helps you focus on like, oh wait, yeah, I actually am hungry. It like helps, it eliminates that snacking, and not by suppressing, but actually working with these triggers in the brains. Vanillin is incredible. So I love this Sleek Tea. I love that it has Aquatea in it, because I tend to hit like that at 2 p.m. and I'm like, oh my God, I didn't eat, and now I just got to eat something. So it just helps me sustain healthy blood sugar levels. Tons of Ning Red. I do 2 shots of Ning Red, 2 ounces of Ning Red at 10, 12, and 2. Ning Red is such a great staple for your weight loss journey and all of the things that it helps with. Sleek Citric Slim Caps. These are a big one. This has guarana in it. I've been taking guarana since the 90s. It is so good for just a long sustained energy without like that caffeine rush. Helps with focus, helps with clarity. It's the caffeine source that's in our Zing and in the Vitality Plus Energy Drops. So I love that we use guarana. It's such an amazing herb and such a low dose of natural forming caffeine. So the Sleek and Slim Caps, Sleek Tea, and I replace 1 meal a day if I'm focusing on weight maintenance, and I replace 2 meals a day if I'm focusing on meeting a weight goal. And that can be either Balance Complete or Pure Protein or Power Meal. So I was doing Balance Complete, and Danette knows I've done Balance Complete since for like 12 years. This has just been a staple part. Like, when it went out of stock for a while, April went on a farm visit and she calls me, she's like, they have 8 canisters. Buy them, April. Buy them all. Can you ship them now? Like, I want them all. April, you're not taking any. I expect 8 canisters to show up in a box in my house in 3 days. 3 days later, 8 canisters of Balance Complete showed up in my house. I was like savoring it all. I was a Balance Complete hoarder. Still am. I never want to run out of this one. I love that it has, I love the fiber content. It's fiber from chicory root, not from psyllium powder, and it's loaded with enzymes, amylase and cellulase. And that's where our weight management products do not have appetite suppressants in them. They have enzymes. And this is what sets Young Living apart, because if you digest the excess sugar and starch, guess what? You don't crave it. So it's not suppressing it. It's actually digesting the excess from your body so you don't crave it. And then when you digest that excess sugar, yeast, and starch, guess what? Energy goes through the roof. Like, it's like genius or something. Okay, so Balance Complete. And then once I started my muscle focus, I moved over to pure protein because I wanted to get the additional protein. And so I'll do like 1 scoop of Balance Complete, 1 scoop of pure protein. I love that Power Meal is loaded with protein. And I've been doing 2 meals a day that I've been replacing lately with the meal replacement. And Femagen and Powergize. Those 2 supplements have been huge. Huge contributors on my weight and fitness journey. Amber, what essential zyme is best for those who don't have a gallbladder? That would be essential zyme. Not essential zyme 4, but essential zyme. Yes, it's like Gary knew what he was doing. I think those were the 2 questions I caught. What was I using for fitness? And what were the products? How long before I noticed a difference? That is such a good question, Allison. So you see yourself every single day, right? So you're not going to notice that difference in yourself. They say that it takes like, I can't remember what the chart is, but there was one like, well, it takes 6 weeks to notice a difference in yourself. It takes 12 weeks for other people to notice. It took a lot longer than 12 weeks for anybody to notice. Or people were noticing and they just weren't saying anything. I don't know. My husband still thinks I've lost more like 40 pounds. And that's just because of the amount of muscle that I've gained. Losing 30 inches, like, you know, I don't know. I don't know how that works. I don't do all the BMI and that kind of stuff. But here is what kept me going. And here was my biggest accountability. And I cannot stress this enough. Please, please, please take progress photos. Please. That first photo is going to be the most uncomfortable photo. It's cringe-worthy. The look on your face will be cringe. Go look at mine. That look. That small, faint smile that I had was the most forced. I was literally in a living hell in that first picture. My depression, my anxiety, I was in such a dark place. It's not even funny. It was horrible, horrible. I was living in a prison with no bars. That's the best way that I can explain it. And I couldn't wait to get the hell out. I knew what was inside of me. And I just put up on my blog, this is melissa.com. I actually, how I did my photos to like, I have a photo where it looks like new me is inside the old me, or current me is inside the old me, and where you can really just see the impact of the inches lost and how much inflammation was actually in my gut area, which is mind blowing. Which was also a huge thing. Like that weight gain, that's cortisol weight gain. That's dangerous. Like if you have that abdominal spare tire area, which is where mine was, and I noticed in the photo, you're playing a dangerous game. And that really made me move fast. I actually screen recorded me on that editing tool, moving it in and out. And it's such a powerful statement of like, this is the person that was locked up inside of that body. And I like set her free. So if you go to my blog and you just watch that video, like that was the person inside of me. That was the 1 year self-image that was just waiting inside the current version of me. That's all it was. There's 2 states of consciousness, where you are today and where it is you want to go. Far too many people just think of this as like a pipe dream, just a silly fantasy. When in reality, what you need to do is you need to look at where it is you want to go, because this is a place and it is already created. It is already finished for you. It's just waiting. You have to see this as much of a reality as you see where you are right now, right here in this moment. And then you fuse the 2 together. So take a look at that, that photo. So how long did it take? I started noticing differences pretty quick because I was taking progress photos every 2 weeks and comparing the first one with the current one. So I would take the first one and then I would take where I am right now. And then 2 weeks later, I'd do it again. 2 weeks later, I'd do it again. And I just kept looking at those. And instead of saying, oh, I hate my legs and my gut is still big, I don't like this back fat, I would not allow that. I had to find the progress and only focus on the progress, because that made me want more of the progress, right? And so it was a reminder, like every day I'm moving more and more and more into this person. Allison, it's hard if you believe it to be hard. That's the thing. It's hard if you believe it to be hard. And I made the decision to choose that this was going to be a most amazing journey. I was going to discover a new version of myself, that this was going to be able to be such, I'm here talking about it now, and look what it's doing for you. This was going to be a way for me to serve Team Young Living. And I just kept looking at all of those things. So it can be hard if you only look at the work that needs to be done. Instead, think of the end point and live only from that end point. And you will wake up to tomorrow celebrating as though the goal has already been achieved. That's how you emotionalize with it. But every single day is a step in the right direction. What's not okay is to not do anything and just wish it off for another day. It has to be today. It has to be today. If not, when and why? No excuse you could give me could ever be good enough. This is your health. This is your health. It's the mindset and not being critical of yourself. The mindset is the easiest part. It's the most rewarding part, because nobody knows what's going on in your head. No one knows what's going on in my head, thank God. This is all for me. It's mine, and it's so beautiful, and it's so special, and nobody has an effect on what I'm thinking. That's all for me. So the mindset work is the most beautiful work. And not being critical of yourself, that's going to take really locking into the self-image statement that you're creating. And every single day, without fail, without exception, that is who you are today. And just refuse to see it any other way. Refuse to see it any other way. And if you're struggling with that, then I'm going to go back to asking you why. Who has made you feel this way? What has made you feel this way? And then start taking some control over those conditions. There were a few things that I had to change in my life. And there were a few people that I had to put to the side. There were not even a few changes. There were a lot of changes. I'm not proud to admit, like a couple years ago, me would have spent Saturday in the pool, rosé all day. Now I don't even have a glass of wine with dinner. You know why? Because I want to do bar after dinner. So I don't want to have a rosé in the pool all day. I'll make myself a mocktail. Why? Because there's a really great workout that's happening live that I want to catch, because I want to be there to support one of the trainers, or I want to make sure that I get my workout in. You just got to live from that end result. That's what gets you there. I don't live where I am today. I don't do what I feel like doing. I do what I want to do. What do I want? I want health. I want vitality. I want fitness. You have to stop doing what you feel like doing, because I'm sure you feel like taking a rest day. Oh my gosh, how many times I could use that for an excuse. Oh, I should really take a rest day. I'll just take today as a rest day. I don't want to take a rest day. It's about that focus and mindset. Brandy, the garage gym. Yes, that's so fantastic. My favorite mocktail recipe. I love doing, so I'll take tonic water and Ningxia Red. It's like and then a little bit of Zing. So it's a Zing and tonic instead of a gin and tonic. It's so good. And you can put a little drop of spearmint in it, or even just a toothpick swirl of GLF. I know it sounds crazy, but it's so good. That's like one of my favorite mocktails. Or doing sparkling water and good sparkling water, not from a tin can sparkling water. And I get like the really great tonic water too, the Fever Tree tonic water. And anywho, the sparkling water from a glass bottle, like Perrier or San Pellegrino, where there's one that starts with a G. It's super German name. I don't know. It's really good. So I do sparkling water and Zing and a little bit of Ningxia Red and some Vitality drops. Or I do my bougie Arnold Palmer, which if you go on my Instagram, I did a reel on it and the whole recipe's there. Also have that up on my blog. Vivian, that is the exact one. How do you do work on getting rid of the muffin top? Ab exercises or lymphatic? I think it'd be a combination of both. But ab exercises are a big one. So that's just movement. So the cardio, like the Latin dance, the more that you start moving, you're going to start shedding those pounds, and it just kind of goes overall. Right now I'm putting a serious ab focus on. So I make sure that I get extra ab work in every day. hormone help work as well. Absolutely. Any other questions that came through there? Stacy.
I want you guys to know that Melissa is offering everybody on tonight 20% off of her site. Sorry, let me.
Yeah.
Oh, something just copied in there again. I put it in there. Let me grab it again. So tell us what's on your site.
Oh gosh, the chemical-free home books, the perfume books, the cologne books. I do have a book called Beauty Before Beauty, which really just helps you walk through how to create that self-image and writing that self-image. If you need help with that, that's a really great book to grab. All of my stuff, anything on my stuff, I just did it site-wide. So all the good stuff on there. Bridget asked what shake I use. I usually do Balance Complete or Power Meal. I love the pure Balance Complete or Pure Protein, and I do love the new Power Meal, but I'm not vegan, so I'm like, I don't have to have that one. So the only one I can't do is the Sleek Shake because I'm allergic to quinoa. Like, go figure. It's like the nerdiest thing to be allergic to. So I'm allergic to nothing except apparently that.
You're cracking me up. Yes, here's the code right there. So Wellness by Design, which was her title tonight, that is the code. You're so smart.
Thought I'd make it easy.
So I love it. We're so blessed to have you tonight, Melissa. Thank you. And you know what's following you is Amanda Ames talking about mindset. Like,
that's perfect.
She's a professor of mindset at a local college here, and she's amazing. So you guys are going to want to stay tuned. We're so thankful for you, Melissa. Thanks for sharing with us.
Thank you for having me. And thank you all for being here and supporting Team Young Living. And yeah, I wish you all the best of luck on this journey, but it's got to start now. Don't wait till tomorrow. Create the self-image and show up as her today.
Dinner is now. Okay. So awesome. Thank you, Melissa.